Why must you be particularly careful here? A. Because the car coming from the left has priority. B. Because there is an increased danger of skidding when braking. C. Because a vehicle could come from the right. The correct answers are B and C. Let's go through the answers together. A. Because the car coming from the left has priority. No. The traffic rule at this intersection is right before left rule. The red car has no priority. In fact, the red car has to wait for us to pass through before it continues. B. Because there is an increased danger of skidding when braking. Yes, we could see leaves on the ground. The ground is also wet. This causes skidding when braking. C. Because a vehicle could come from the right. Yes, there is a right junction here. A car could come from our right. Car coming from our right has priority. We must slow down or come to a complete stop to allow them pass through before we continue on our journey. What should you anticipate? A. That I will have to stop at the junction. B. Pedestrians crossing the road. C. A vehicle driving past the bus. All the answers are correct. Look at our blinker. We want to turn right, but there is a right before left rule at this intersection. This means pedestrians, cyclists, and cars or vehicles coming from the right has priority. There could be a pedestrian crossing the road. There could also be a vehicle driving past the bus. In either case, we must wait at this junction, observe to make sure the road is clear before we continue to turn right. What should you do in this situation? A. Reduce speed. B. Be ready to brake. C. Continue driving as before. A and B are correct. The tractor is coming out of the farmyard. However, the driver's visibility is restricted. It is possible the driver could continue to encroach into our road, despite the fact we have the priority. But we could see that the driver could not see us yet. In this scenario, we must reduce speed and be ready to brake. You want to turn right at the junction. What is the correct thing to do? A. I change lane as early as possible. B. I may not impede cyclists in the cycle lane. C. I may only cross over the cycle lane at walking speed. The correct answers are A and B. Let's go through them together. I change lane as early as possible. Yes, it is recommended you always change lane as early as possible. However, in this situation, we could not do it because we could see through our mirror that a cyclist is coming. As far as we don't obstruct this cyclist, we could change lane as early as possible. B. I may not impede cyclists in the cycle lane. Yes. While we are changing the lane to the right, we are not allowed to obstruct the cyclists in the cycle lane. C. I may only cross over the cycle lane at walking speed. No, this is not required. You could always cross the cycle lane even when you are 30 kilometers per hour, as far as the road is clear. When could a dangerous situation arise here? A. If the cyclist changes to my lane. B. If the cyclist stops at the end of the cycle path. C. If I continue driving at the same speed. The correct answers are A and C. Take a look. You could see that the cycle lane comes to an end. Should the cyclist merge into our lane, and if I continue to drive at the same speed, there is a possibility for collision. This brings to a situation that is dangerous. Now that we see that the cyclist is coming to the end of his lane, we must watch him closely and be ready to brake. Should the cyclist wishes to merge into our lane, we must let him merge to avoid collision. What is the right course of action now? A. I get ready to brake. B. I watch the cyclist closely. C. I maneuver to the left side of the road. The correct answers are A and B. This question looks like the previous question we just answered. Here we see another cyclist. This one is distracted. We could not predict his next action. He could instantly or suddenly merge into our lane. We must keep an eye on him, watch him closely, and be ready to brake. However, we are not allowed to maneuver to the left-hand side of the road because we could see an oncoming vehicle. The correct action in this scenario is to keep an eye on the cyclist. What must you anticipate on the other side of this crest in the road? A. There may be an oncoming vehicle on my side of the road. B. There may be a slow-moving vehicle on my side of the road. C. A vehicle may be stationary there. All the answers are correct. The crest on the road blocks our view from seeing the entire road. Therefore, we must anticipate that at the other side of this road, there may be a slow-moving vehicle, or there may be an oncoming vehicle on our side of the road. What we must do here is to slow down until we could be able to see the entire road again before we speed up. What must you be prepared for in this situation? A. Police regulating traffic. B. An uneven and dirty roadway. C. Workers and construction equipment on the roadway. The correct answers are B and C. The road is dirty and uneven. We could see workers. We should also anticipate there may be some construction equipment on the roadway. You want to turn right. What should you do? A. Take the turn ahead of the cyclist. B. Allow the cyclist to pass through the junction. C. Check the way is clear by glancing over your shoulder. The correct answers are B and C. Take a look at our blinker. It shows we want to turn right. We also have a green traffic light. All the conditions are right for us to turn right. But there is a cyclist driving to our right who wishes to go straight on. In this situation, we must allow the cyclist to pass through the junction before we make the right turn. Also, we must do what is called in German Schulterblick. That is, we must glance over our shoulder because there may be some cyclists or pedestrians on the blind spot between our mirrors. We must check for them over there before we do the right turn. In this case, the answers B and C are correct. What should you anticipate? A. The person beside the van could encroach further onto the road. B. Pedestrians could cross the road in front of the van. C. The motorbike could swerve to the left. All the answers are correct. This traffic situation is so confusing. When you find yourself in this type of situation, you must pay close attention, slow down, and be ready to brake. You could see someone on the road beside a van. This person could encroach further onto the road. The motorbike could swerve left, and the people could emerge between the cars and enter the road in front of us. This situation is most likely to happen on 30 zones. Therefore, we must pay close attention and be ready to brake.